Welcome today in New Adventure Audiobooks. The letter arrived on a morning that looked exactly like every other morning in my life. Gray sky, cold coffee, the distant hum of traffic outside my apartment window. Nothing about the day felt special, until I noticed the envelope. It was placed neatly on my desk, as if someone had been inside my locked room while I slept. No stamp, no return address, only my name, written in slow, careful handwriting, Ethan Cross. I stood still for a long moment, listening to the silence of my apartment. No footsteps, no voices, no signs of forced entry. Just the letter. I picked it up. The paper felt old, not yellow, but weathered, like it had survived storms, heat, and time itself. Inside was a single page. If you are reading this, then the horizon is no longer behind you. Your father did not die in the storm. He is waiting where the maps end. Come alone. A friend from the past. My hands trembled. My father had died 15 years ago. Lost at sea. A research expedition gone wrong. That's what they told me. No body was ever found. I read the letter again. Then again. Where the maps end. It sounded like poetry. Or madness. At the bottom of the page was a symbol, drawn in black ink. A circle. Inside it, a broken compass needle pointing nowhere. My heart dropped. I had seen that symbol before. It was in my father's old journal. The journal was the only thing recovered from my father's expedition. A water-damaged notebook filled with sketches, coordinates, and half-written theories about something he called the last horizon. I hadn't opened it in years. But that night, I pulled it from the bottom of my drawer. The pages smelled of salt and dust. Most of the entries were scientific, measurements of ocean currents, magnetic fields, strange disturbances in satellite data. Then the tone changed. Day 41. We crossed a boundary today. Instruments failed. The sky changed color. The horizon, it moved. Another page. The island is not on any map. It should not exist. And yet, it does. There are ruins here older than language. They are not abandoned. I felt a chill. My father had been a rational man. A marine geographer. Not someone who believed in fantasy. And yet, at the very back of the journal was the same symbol from the letter. The broken compass. And beneath it, a single line. If anything happens to me, follow the horizon. Do not trust the sea. The coordinates the letter included a set of coordinates. They pointed to a region in the Pacific Ocean known for only one thing: ships disappeared there. No shipping lanes. No islands. Just empty water. I tried to forget about it. I really did, but some thoughts don't fade. They grow. 3 days later, I booked a flight to a coastal town called Port Haven. The last place my father was seen alive. The Captain Port Haven smelled like salt, rust, and old stories. It was the kind of place where people didn't ask questions. They just listened. I found a boat, an old research vessel named the Meridian, and a captain who looked like he had survived too many storms to count. Her name was Mara Quinn. You're heading into restricted waters, she said calmly, scanning the coordinates. Nothing good lives out there. I'm not looking for good, I replied. I'm looking for answers. She studied me for a long moment. Then she nodded. 3 days. No more. If we don't find anything, we turn back. I agreed. That night, as the Meridian left the harbor, I felt something strange. Not fear, anticipation. As if the ocean itself had been waiting for me. The moving horizon on the second day, the instruments failed. Radar went blank. Compass spun wildly. The sky turned a shade of violet I had never seen before. And then, the horizon shifted. Not metaphorically, physically. The line between sea and sky moved closer. Mara whispered, "This is impossible." The water grew unnaturally still. No waves, no wind, no sound, just silence. And in the distance, land appeared. An island that did not exist on any map. Covered in dark green forests and towering black stone ruins. Mara stared at it, her face pale. "I've sailed these waters for 20 years, she said. That island was never there. But I knew. Somehow, I knew. This was it. The place where the horizon ends. The ruins we anchored near a black stone shore." The air felt heavy, like the world was holding its breath. The ruins rose from the jungle, massive structures carved with symbols that looked disturbingly familiar. Broken compasses, circles, eyes without pupils. As I stepped onto the island, a strange sensation washed over me. Not like arriving somewhere new, but like returning somewhere old. Deep inside the ruins, I found a wall. And on it, carved into the stone Ethan Cross, my name. But I had never been here before. Or had I? The voice that night, I couldn't sleep. The jungle whispered, not with sound, but with memory. Then I heard it, a voice, my father's voice. Ethan, you finally came. I followed it into the ruins. Into the darkness, where something was waiting. Something that knew my name long before I was born. The island that remembers, some places are not discovered. They awaken. The man in the ruins, the voice led me deeper into the ruins. The stone corridors twisted in ways that made no architectural sense. Walls curved inward, then outward, like something organic pretending to be stone. Dad, I called softly. The word felt strange on my tongue. At the center of the largest chamber, someone stood. A man, tall, thin, wearing a weathered expedition jacket. My father's jacket. He turned slowly, and I forgot how to breathe. It was him. Same face, same eyes, same scar near his left eyebrow. 15 years had passed, but he hadn't aged a day. Ethan, he said gently. You took your time. My mind screamed that this was impossible. But my heart didn't listen. I stepped forward. You're dead, I whispered. He smiled. Not dead, just relocated. The way he said it felt wrong. Not like a joke, like a correction. The horizon loop. We sat inside the ruins. Mara waited outside. She refused to enter, claiming the place made her dizzy, nauseous, like her thoughts were being rearranged. My father, or whatever looked like him, told me the truth. This island exists outside normal space, he said. It's caught in something called a horizon loop. I frowned. What does that mean? It means time doesn't move forward here, he replied calmly. It folds. He drew a circle in the dust. Everyone who reaches this place has already been here before. They just don't remember it yet. I laughed nervously. That's impossible. He looked at me. So was I. The forgotten memories. He touched my forehead. And suddenly, I remembered. Not with images, with feelings. A storm, screaming metal, the ocean swallowing the ship. But then, another memory. Not drowning, walking, on this island, as a child, holding my father's hand. The ruins weren't new, they were familiar. I collapsed to my knees. I've been here before, he nodded slowly. You were born here, Ethan. The words hit harder than any wave. No, that's not possible. You weren't born in a hospital, he said. You were born beyond the horizon. The purpose of the island wasn't natural. It was a construct, an ancient mechanism built by something older than humanity. A place designed to store consciousness, to preserve minds, to keep memories from dying. This place feeds on explorers, my father said. On people who seek the unknown. Why? I asked. Because curiosity creates energy, he replied. And energy sustains the loop. Every ship that vanished, every pilot lost, they weren't dead, they were absorbed, integrated into the island, living as echoes. My father wasn't alive, he was a memory. So was I, or at least, a version of me. Mara's secret. Mara finally entered the ruins. Her face went pale when she saw my father. You see him too, she whispered. My heart dropped. You've been here before, she said. Haven't you? She nodded. 20 years ago, I was part of the first expedition. We all died. She looked at her hands. But I woke up in Port Haven. With no memories, just a feeling that the ocean was watching me. The island hadn't just trapped people. It reinserted them into reality. Copies, replicas, walking memories. The core at the center of the island was something called the core. A massive sphere of black light. Floating, pulsing, whispering in thousands of voices at once. This is where consciousness is archived, my father said. The universe's backup drive. I felt drawn to it. Not pulled, recognized. The core spoke, not with sound, with truth. Ethan Cross is not the original. Ethan Cross is the 47th instance. My vision blurred. What does that mean? I screamed. My father looked at me with something like guilt. It means the real you died here a long time ago. The shocking truth begins every time someone escaped the island. They weren't leaving. They were being copied. The island kept the original. Sent the replica back. Reality was full of echoes. Not people, copies. And I wasn't human. I was a memory given a body. A story pretending to be a man. The core pulsed faster. All explorers become part of the archive. No consciousness leaves the horizon. I realized something horrifying. You didn't send me a letter. The figure of my father smiled sadly. The island did. The choice. The core offered me a choice. Stay, Become part of the archive. Or leave. But if I left, I would replace someone. Erase a version of myself already living in the real world. A real human. With a fake me. Mara whispered, "We've already done this before, how many times?" I asked. She looked at the core. Too many. The horizon was never real. The most terrifying truth is not that we are lost, but that we were never meant to exist. The real Ethan. The core pulsed like a living heart. Black light flowed through the ruins, climbing the walls, the ceiling, even the air itself. I felt it inside my head. Not pain. Recognition. Ethan Cross. Original instance. Status. Archived. The words echoed in my mind. I turned to my father. "So, the real me is here." He nodded slowly. "Not here as a body," he said. "Here as consciousness." I felt my legs weaken. "So I'm just a copy." He looked at me gently. "You're a continuation," he replied. "A memory that learned how to speak." Chapter 17. The first expedition. The course showed me the past. Not like a movie. Like I was there. The first expedition had arrived nearly 100 years ago. Not 15. Not 20. A century. My father was part of a scientific group searching for anomalies in space-time. They found the island. But the island didn't trap them. It recognized them. It had been waiting. The core was not alien. It was human-made. Built in the far future. By humans who discovered the universe was collapsing. So they created a system to store consciousness. A cosmic memory bank. A place to preserve minds when reality ended. They called it the Horizon Engine. The true function. The island wasn't feeding on explorers. It was collecting backups. Human consciousness from across time. Because the real universe had already ended. We were not living in reality. We were living in a reconstruction. A simulation built from archived memories. Earth wasn't real. The ocean wasn't real. Even time wasn't real. It was all generated by the Horizon Engine. I whispered, "So everyone I know," my father finished the sentence. Is a restored memory. The ultimate horror. Then the core revealed the final truth. The reason explorers disappear. The reason replicas exist. The reason copies replace originals. The simulation is degrading. Memories decay. So the system sends people back into the archive again and again. Refreshing them. Overwriting corrupted versions. That's why no one remembers. Because memory loss is not a bug. It's maintenance. The core spoke. Reality requires forgetting to remain stable. Awareness causes collapse. I felt sick. So if people learn the truth, they destabilize the system, my father said. And the universe resets. Who I really am. I wasn't the 47th copy of a man. I was the 47th rebuild of the entire universe. Each cycle, one person remembers. One person reaches the island. One person becomes the new anchor consciousness. Me. The core didn't choose me. It had always been me. Because the first architect of the Horizon Engine was named Ethan Cross. Not my father. Me. From the far future. I built the system, then erased myself, so I could live inside it. Forever. The final choice. The core offered two options. Reset the universe again. Everyone forgets. Simulation continues. Peaceful illusion. Shut down the Horizon Engine. All consciousness fades. No memories. No existence. True death. My father looked at me. You've chosen reset every time. Mara whispered, because you were afraid to be alone. I realized the truth. Humanity didn't survive the end of the universe. I just couldn't accept it. So I rebuilt a dream. And trapped myself inside it. The shocking ending. I walked toward the core. Black light wrapped around me like liquid thought. I remembered everything. The real past. The real future. The real end. The core asked one final question. Do you wish to remember, or continue pretending to exist? I smiled sadly. I choose forgetting. The light exploded. Epilogue. The new morning. I woke up in my apartment. Gray sky. Cold coffee. Traffic outside. A letter lay on my desk. No stamp. No return address. Just my name. Ethan Cross. And somewhere, far beyond the horizon, the universe reset itself. Again.